symmetrical. My face has regained its fullness, I look like myself again, and I feel great.
Your breast around a large breast implant, squeezing off the blood supply, causing the tissue on the right to die.
I'm always looking for the latest procedure. I'm always the first in the line for everything. So give me.
Since the 1980s, we have seen the introduction to the digital revolution. Social media has played a massive role in the development of the digital age and the rise of influencers and influencer marketing. With this increased investment by society into influencers, we are seeing the impact that influencers are having on the beauty standards that are set for women, standards that these influencers themselves cannot even maintain. Therefore, these unattainable standards are being aimed for and met through cosmetic surgery, Photoshop, and other costly beauty treatments. Physical appearance is not the only unachievable standard being set by influencers. Influencers are also promoting a lifestyle that cannot be reached by most of society. Luxury holidays, designer brands, and expensive cars have become the norm across social media, all of which come at a great expense. This has caused a development in the idea that material wealth and what we present to the world is far more important than society has ever deemed it to be before. We are seeing teens and young adults with low-paying jobs spending the majority of their earnings on designer items to show off on Instagram.
I've been collecting designer handbags for over 20 years, but even when I was broke, you guys, I would buy a purse that cost probably my whole month's rent, and then I would hustle to pay my rent just to have nice things. I've always been obsessed with designers.
In order to do this, they are making sacrifices in other areas of their lives, with many young adults living at home for much longer than we would have seen in previous decades. In this video, I will be looking at the different types of influencer marketing and the type of unrealistic standards that are set for women on social media in order to attain a capitalist society. The vast majority of the world, particularly Western societies, operate under a capitalist economic system. This system divides society into classes, with every class's goal being to maximise profits in order to work your way up to the higher class, also known as the elites. Capitalism takes an every man for himself approach to making profits and often pays no notice to the damage that is caused along the way. This can clearly be seen on social media with the rise of influencers and influencer marketing. Brands are trying to integrate and promote their products into consumers' lives as naturally as possible so that they are always subconsciously in the consumer's mind and across their social media pages. This is being done through influencer marketing. This is when brands pay influencers to try and sell their products to their audiences. This is usually done in such a way where the influencer speaks about how they use and love the product and think their audiences should try it too.
They're light, they're comfortable, they come in a bunch of different colors, they're a classic.
And if you use my link in the description, you can get 20% off, but I would definitely recommend it. It does help your hair out a lot, and if you have damaged hair like me, we need that. But I thought now is the perfect time to talk about this video sponsor, which is none other than my favourite razor brand in the world, Astrid.
Desenio right now, you guys can get 35% off with the code SophiaChintzia35
Until the 6th of Jan, so don't wait.
Oftentimes, the influencer might not love the products they're promoting, or even worse, may have never even tried the product. But if these influencers are being paid to say they love the product, why wouldn't they? It's in their best interest to do so under the current capitalist economic system. Generally, audiences follow influencers because they like the influencer and the content that they post. With the increasing normalisation of influencers sharing huge amounts of their lives online, this causes a trust to develop between audiences and influencers. Audiences feel as though they really know and understand the influencers that they follow. Therefore, when an influencer whose audience admires and looks up to them tells their audience that they love a product and that everyone should try it, their fans will more likely believe this and purchase the product being promoted than if it was a direct advertisement from the brand. There have been some regulations brought in to help to reduce the negative consequences of influencer marketing, such as having to disclose when you are being paid to promote a product. However, for naive consumers, this often makes no difference as they trust in what the influencers are saying, regardless of whether or not they're being paid. This clip was taken from the BBC series Blind Boy Undestroys the World, where a blind boy who is a member of the Irish band The Rubber Bandits addresses the glaringly obvious problems society faces in the 21st century. In this episode, his team asks 3 different influencers to promote a diet drink that contains cyanide, which is a poison, to see if any of these influencers will look past the paycheck and into the actual product that they are promoting.
Well, all sort of followers of mine, they do believe in what I post, from the spa weekends to what clothes I wear.
But you may not be able to drink it until it's launched, but you're fine with that, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine, that's not a problem at all.
So there may be a world where you would be starting to promote the product before the product was actually ready. How does that, is that a problem?
No, not for me.
Lawton Goodger's agent popped in to admit it is industry practice not to try any of the shit that they shill. Now that's ethical.
Half these posts you see that people do, they're not even trying them half the time anyway, so it's...
I've never tried anything.
Really?
Excuse me, Lauren.
I've never tried anything.
What you said?
I'm loving my products that I've been using. They've helped me so much.
The issue lies with influencers promoting various beauty products and their fans idolising them, so they purchase these beauty products in order to try and become more like these influencers. So when influencers get cosmetic surgery or use Photoshop and don't disclose this to their audience, but instead tell their audience that the reason that they look like this is because of whatever beauty product it is that they're promoting, this in a way becomes false advertisement. Audiences are striving to look a way that cannot be achieved through the beauty products they are purchasing based off the recommendation of influencers. This in turn is setting a beauty standard for women that cannot be met through natural means. Women constantly having to chase this unattainable standard of beauty is having detrimental effects on not only women but society as a whole. Social media began to take off in the early 2000s with the website MySpace, which is when society was first introduced to the idea of the influencer. Since then, social media influencing has blown up as an industry. This industry thrives off selling women more and more beauty products in order to try and help them reach the standard of beauty that has been set by this same industry. This constant chase to keep up with what is deemed to be beautiful has resulted in a huge increase in body image issues since social media began. In Ireland alone, it is estimated that approximately 1,757 new cases of eating disorders occur each year, starting in children as young as 10 years old. Studies have shown that eating disorders are most prevalent in women and also in adolescents and young adults. In 2018, Mental Health Ireland surveyed a sample of the population of Ireland to see how the population is affected by mental illness. On average, they also saw in their results that young women were also the group most impacted by mental illness. These kinds of problems seen in young women have been increasing every year and have been tied directly back to the growth of social media. Mindlessly scrolling through apps and constantly being fed false images of influencers is having a massive impact on how women are viewing themselves. Social media is consistently associated with negative body image because it is being used by corporations to tell women that they need to buy their products in order to reach their full potential and become truly beautiful. In this way, the influencer has become a tool used by brands to attain a capitalist society.